choices.
Mm.
This is what I believe, right? I actually believe, right, choice is an illusion. I believe, so when you go into a shop,
Mm-hmm.
you go into a shop. So in your mind, you're making a choice of what shop you're going into, right? But that shop was already there. Someone already put the shop there. So say if you have 3 shops, whatever shop you go into, you believe that you make the choice to go into that shop. But someone's already chosen the shop for you. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you made the choice. It's just like, oh, I go into a shop and there's multiple cans of drink. Someone put the cans there. I didn't actually get to choose any of the drinks because someone's chosen the drink for me. Now, if you believe in stuff like it being written, your path being your path, so like everyone's got a life path, everyone's got a destiny and stuff like that. You may think, oh yeah, but I create that. But would it have happened any other way? Can you say that it would have happened any other way when it didn't happen any other way? All you've got is, yeah, but what if I took that way and you didn't? Why didn't you?
You can't work with...
Why did you think that, the choice that I make is the most important part? But how about you was brought here just to be an example for everyone else? What is the example? It could be anything, but all we know is that that's life. That's many different examples of life. So someone does some foul shit that you don't like, right?
Yeah.
But like, yo, that's life. That's another example of maybe what not to be like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that example to teach. You come here, you may do some great work. And that's an example of someone that did some great work. But at the same time, all that is life. To me, life expresses itself in human form. That's about it. There's many different versions of, but it's just life. So in regards to choice, I think that what we're supposed to do is understand why we made the choice, rather than like, oh, I did this because I had a choice, if that makes sense.
Because that brings me on to vaccine. So, because it makes, like, obviously everyone has a power of choice with the limited decisions they have in front of them. But with this vaccine, for instance, it's like they're limiting how you choose. So like in the past, we've always had a choice whether you can or don't have to take this thing. But they're like, they've been changing the goalpost. So it's like, okay, I've seen things where it's like, it's going to be mandatory. And then they realise, we can't really make it mandatory because it's against our acts. Like, we created Acts, Discrimination Act, so we can't really make it mandatory because in our laws it would be very vivid that we're going against. There is a plan here. But what we can do is say to businesses, hey, you can't come and work back here unless you take this vaccine. Oh, you can't go on holiday unless you take this vaccine. And I'm like, what happened to the power of choice then? There is no choice. It's just they've now limited your boxes of where you can, because this next year is going to be interesting, because this is basically to understand, okay, are you really ready to implement your power of choice?
People think that 2020 was the year of, oh my God, no one ain't seen nothing yet.
That's an introduction.
It's beyond
Because
2020.
they've got 3 months basically, because March number 3 is like the completion. So they need to. This is why they've been testing. They mashed up people's Christmas, or they tried to mash up. I believe in New Year basically is in spring anyway.
Yeah.
It's new life.
It's a
Isn't it?
new life.
Doesn't make sense celebrating.
So let me ask you this, right? So like, well, this might just be a statement. All this, so I've said this, right? But I believe that we are living in the pilgrim's mind. Capitalism is his design. What we see within this society is creation, right? And if we create a society in a certain way, right, we've chosen every different outcome. So if there's bad, there's going to be good.
Yeah.
You're going to always have your bad guys and your good guys.
It's all about balance.
Balance, right?
Yeah.
But the person who created this made the choices. There's only so many ways. There's only so many different ways that you're gonna go.
Yeah.
So, how can you make the choice when they've already made the choice for you?
Yeah.
We're not living in. So obviously, how we see things is up to us.
Yeah.
How we see things is up to us. Right.
And how we respond to what we see
Right. Right.
is also up to us.
Right.
But
that's us.
But sometimes I believe not even our response is up to us, because
100%.
imagine if you're
The program,
like the programmed, or if you're injected with something which now controls you or whatever. I'm not saying, by the way, that
this is just
vaccine.
thoughts.
This is just
thoughts. This is just
and
thoughts.
also it's important that, like for me, I just question things like, why can't you say no to a vaccine? Like, you should be able to have the power of choice. Some people might not want to take it, some people take it. Those who don't take it will, if in their minds, will die from this virus or get ill all the time. And those who take it are immune now. But clearly,
But they're not.
they're not now, because there's a new virus.
But what are they doing now? See, this is my point. They are changing the rules to the game.
But this is the thing. This is why I don't know who's not seeing it. But if you're not, you have to understand, why would they change the rules? Because it's like the crap is kind of revealing itself. It's like, oh, we've got to change the rules again because we've got to reintroduce fear, because they're not fearing us anymore, or they're not listening. Okay, we need something new. Wait till Brexit comes. Brexit's going to hit us pretty hard, especially us, because we are the mother of the ship. And then it's going to filter into America in some way or form. And then they're going to, so like you see, they're trying to crash things, and like, you know, Amazon's doing amazing, Uber are coming down on their employers, so like they're firing people if they don't allow. So now you're firing people if customers don't wear masks. That's not even your choice.
Wow.
That's what they're doing. They're giving them fines and stuff if they don't wear a mask.
Listen, they're making them take tests.
And the thing is, it's hard enough for them being Uber drivers just in
because
general.
they're self-employed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're
it's all
getting
these
anything
different
for
things
it.
that like make me think, and like, you know, people really think that they care about it. Like, by now you haven't seen that these powers that shouldn't be don't care about you. Come on, man. If you would have just made it a blanket rule, everyone furlough, boom. This virus is too dangerous to even have anyone.
Like, these are placed here, right? And it would seem like I could choose one, but the person who put them there chose it for me.
I gave you the parameters in which you needed to work with,
Right.
which was here's 4 products.
Right.
You choose which one you want,
Right.
but you can't have them.
Look,
You can't have them.
Yeah, I can't have them. Why not?
They're not for you. They're not for sale.
But then even then, sometimes it's down to how you lay it out. So where you think you've got choice now, if I did that makes a difference to the way you view it. Now
Yeah.
you're going to think, well, why did she put an empty
Yeah.
behind?
But then look,
And sometimes you might think, well, because that's closest to me, it's the
Let me
easiest.
try that.
but then look, that had nothing. That had
Exactly.
nothing to do with me.
But now if I turn around and say to you, alright, look at the flavours. Yeah, now it's going to be, well, hold on, what do you and don't you eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's all controlled, as you said.
All
It's
controlled.
all controlled. So even though we may make choices, because the point is you still can choose any of the four, but it's limited choice. Yeah, but it's limited choice that gives you the false idea that you have a choice.
Right.
Because the only real choice that you would have is to have it or to not have it.
Yeah.
Exactly, just like what they're doing with the vaccine.
Yeah.
Either you take it
Yeah.
or you don't. And if you don't take it,
You
you won't
shouldn't
be
be.
allowed
Yeah.
to play this game
Yeah.
that we're going on with.
And if you said no to the sweets, it's why? Why don't you want it?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Why can't
And
it
it-
just be okay?
Yeah,
And because they've made, what they've done is they've put propaganda behind it, which is like, if you don't take the vaccine, oh, they're irresponsible. It's like, wait, what? Wait,
Yeah.
we're like, we've known how, like, I've been eating well pretty much this year, and I haven't really got sick. I've got burnout from working really hard, but not sick.
you know.
So I'm like, well, and I've had a test, haven't got
And
it.
that's why they control foods too.
Right.
Because where they know that people will go to food, they can only do so much to fight against them, because everyone needs to eat. But they can infiltrate what we can eat because we're limited with what we can receive in and out of the country. Then what we can and can't grow because of the way that but
Nature's
imagine
our
so
only
unless
thing. Well, they probably could control nature because you know they did that in warfare.
Yeah, of course.
So they put
There's
these little
loads of-
rods in the sea,
yeah.
and they'll send little shocks into
There's
the
loads
air.
of different things they can do, even down to the ground we're walking on, like fertilizers and all of these different things that go into the ground so that affects your crops. So if you decide, oh, let me grow some at home, let me go and buy some soil from the shop, you don't know what's in the soil.